Okay, man, what's up, everybody? So, I got a Cash App request. I ain't get those in a very, very, very long time. Like I said, I don't know, I've been, I'm seeing a lot of things that I don't like in a lot of communities, but I tend to like stick back. So, one of the things that I'm start seeing is that a lot of people are kind of rubbing it into people's faces that they're better than them. Which, if you're better than somebody, I don't think you need to like continue to say it to somebody or tell somebody that you're better than them. Um, that's like you going into a AA meeting. It's like you're going into an AA meeting to gloat the fact that you're not an alcoholic. Um, it's like you're going into a handicap. You're going around a bunch of handicapped people just to admit that you're not handicapped like they are. And if they work hard, they won't be handicapped, right? It becomes more of insufferable to hear people just keep saying how much of a loser somebody is. That's like you're mad because you were one of the. It's like, dude, if you're a winner, then you stay around winners and you go around winners. I don't need to go around a bunch of homeless people just to brag the fact that I have a place to stay. You get what I'm saying now, right? So I'm starting to see a lot of that. Oh yeah, man, you guys are lazy. You guys are this and you guys are that. You guys don't have no experience, blah 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 blah. It's starting to piss me off. Not because not because certain experiences or certain personal experience. It's like if you are better than a person, people, group of people, why are you around a group of people telling them that they're so much of a loser? It becomes redundant now where it's like all it is content of going just ragging on guys, thinking thinking ragging on somebody is gonna make them do better. And as I told y'all before in one of my over videos that if you gave a demo to somebody, I'm talking about a demo, something that people can see that a certain lifestyle can afford them, then people would be more often to actually do that lifestyle and do it. It's not you forcing somebody or telling somebody that it's gonna do this and it's gonna do that. It's basically showing them that hey, if you get in this position, you're gonna get this, get this, get that. But a lot of people don't like that method for some reason. I don't know why, but hey, that's them, right? So so let me just so in life, right? A lot of people don't understand that there's a certain place that a lot of people are in, and a lot of people try to become. People think that they don't have to compete with what you call it. They don't have to compete with anybody, but you are. There's certain people that are in first place in real life, and there's certain people that are in second place in real life. Some people will never get to that first place level because they don't have the first place abilities. Some people have the first place abilities, but they don't have the. Okay, not really. They don't have the first place mentality. So a lot of people understand their position. They just be king of first place. I mean, they just be king of second place, second, third, fourth. There's only a couple places in life that you can put yourself in. First, second, third, fourth, and fifth. Most people are in fourth place. Most people are not in first. Most people are not in second. Most people are in third. The majority of people are in third place. And people be like, well, I'm not in third place. Yes, you are. In some things. It's a position, it's a mindset that some people are at. Some people would never be at first place. First place means high numbers. First place mean you're on top of the food chain. First place mean you in the 10%. First place mean you don't have to be sitting there ragging on fucking lower level people. You don't see Bill Gates ragging on you don't see Bill Gates uh ragging on people who don't have more money than who have less money than him. He don't speak on them. He hang around other billionaires. You don't see um the hell? Oh wow, boo boo boo. You don't see you definitely don't see a bunch of princes and princesses ragging on normal people every day on social media. They have a way, they have their own group and they have their own social circles and their own social everything. They don't need to rag on all these people and be like, yeah, I'm better than you. You need to be able to have these sorts of income and this and that. Haven't y'all noticed? Pay attention to. Haven't y'all noticed Erica Mendez or what? Erica. I forgot her name. Erica, the overweight chick who talk about financial shit, right? Haven't y'all noticed that nobody really mess with her like that no more? She was in the spaces talking all types of trash and all that, but eventually she started to go out the window for all these different things, and people stopped messing with her like that. Haven't y'all noticed that? She stopped going to Super Slide, running her mouth, talking about traveling and stuff. She barely posts anything. Her engagement is low. It's not because she got tired of giving these guys messages. It was the fact is that people hate condescending people. You're telling the wrong message. You can't tell somebody that they're not productive enough and then you tell them that they should be getting first you tell them people giving them wrong advice. People don't tell people based off the advice that works for every single body. You have to understand what you're comfortable with and you got to understand what your type of lifestyle is. Some people in life are a $50,000 a year person. Their lifestyles are $50,000 a year. These people would never exceed that $50,000 a year lifestyle. This is the reason why they were able to save money more than everybody else, right? Some people are $100,000 lifestyle people, and they need as much money as possible to generate as much as they can. Some people need a lot of money because their lifestyle is just that, right? Some people need to figure out what their lifestyle is. Instead of people understanding and talking to other people and say, hey, what is your lifestyle? What you want to do? All the things you want to do, this and this and that. And have a long conversation with people instead of prejudging them or making assumptions. They just tell them to do stupid shit that most of the time they're not really happy with or they don't really want to do. I'd rather have somebody do something that they want to do and they happy with and be good at that job or actually be comfortable at their job. Because you have a lot of people who are working in jobs that they don't really like doing. They only do it to make money. And this is the reason why bridges are falling down. This is the reason why you have people who do bad welds. I mean, I looked on every single part where people have welds and their welds are just trash. And I'm asking right now, like, why is these wells not being, why none of these wells are being like investigated? Because in like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, the weld, that shit's gonna break down if you don't have strong welds. Most welds supposed to last at least 200 years. At least. More than 200 years. But you got some of these people who who only in welding because they what the hell? Sorry, man, my nose. Wait. It's getting colder and getting hotter, and allergies is popping up. So it's weird, super weird, that I'm looking at a lot of people's work and they're so bad at their jobs that you starting to see it more and more. Shit breaking down, things happening all over, and it's like, whoa, what's going on? What's happening? Why the quality of people's jobs? Why is the quality of all this stuff going down? And it's mainly because the fact is that people are just doing these jobs just to do them because it makes them money. The nursing department, in the healthcare department, that shit going down. There's more incidents that happen in there. The wrong people are in the right positions, and the wrong people are in these places where the right people don't want to be around them. So I wouldn't suggest more people. I wouldn't suggest the right people be around the wrong people in order to make a lot of money. Because sometimes the wrong people will try to sabotage the right people. Right? So a lot of people have to maneuver themselves based off what they're comfortable with or where they don't want to be at. What the hell? Oh my God. Here we go. Freezing again. Don't want to be in when they're around people. Like, people don't understand that in an environment, you have to be comfortable with the environment. And a lot of people, they come online, they hate their environment, and they got to be around people that they're used to. That's the reason why you got these so-called productive people. They all around unproductive people online. Man Tomorrow did a live stream about May, about these dudes talking about May. This is the same May chick who's in his chat talking about productivity, but she's in like most traveling channels talking shit about passport bros. And I'm asking, like, why is a married woman walking around in chats worrying about single men's and what single men doing? It don't make no sense. And I'm like, why is all these people are in unproductive environments talking about how unproductive these guys are? Look, man, pull the trigger if you want to pull the trigger on these people to get them out of there, to make them focus, or make them eat each other alive. That's what happened. Look what happened with Obsidian. He destroyed himself. Obsidian got too arrogant, thought that he was invincible, and he thought he can do anything he want, and he got shown the door off YouTube. Same thing with Tommy Sotomayor. Same thing with a lot of different people on here. The Black Manosphere in general is done. It's dead. It's gone. And the Black Manosphere, from what I'm seeing, is just a bunch of talking down to people, man. It's like, oh, you're a loser, 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 you're a loser. Hey, man, it was never supposed to be male shaming and saying that men are the problem or this and this and that. It was supposed to point out certain problems and helping people. If I create 3 buildings, I create one building on one block that's made for parties, and then I create another building that's created for job opportunities, and another building that's created for lounging around and enjoying yourself. I don't want the party crowd to go into the building that's for people to get job opportunities. And I don't want people that's supposed to be in there for job opportunities to be in the lounging room. You're supposed to have some organization. And this is where I said a couple years ago that the Black Manosphere was a scam. Now I see the Black Manosphere as a place where it's like, oh, you're a loser. You're a loser. You're a loser. You're a loser. That shit never worked. I look at every other culture and they don't really go around telling people losers. They just ignore the people that are losers. They ignore them and tell them to get at their level. I mean, let's take a story. Let's take a real life incident, real life historic figures, right? Pablo Escobar wanted to be president of Colombia, or I think he wanted to be in a higher senate of Colombia. The higher level, the higher class people didn't want him nowhere near them because he was a drug kingpin. Also, he was poor. They still viewed him as the poor guy, even though he had money and power. He hated the fact that they did that, and he retaliated against them to show them that, hey, I'm better than you. It was a class issue. Some people, some cultures, no matter what you do, you still from that location. The best thing about America is that you can change some of that stuff with money. And hanging around different types of people. And then they'll forget that you're from a certain background. But that takes years and years and years. So, like I said, I'm starting to see a lot of different things online. So I'm just sticking away from it. But in life, you have certain positions and certain people that needs to understand wow. There is certain people that they need to understand that they can't fill the top spot. You're never going to fill that top spot. There's people out here right now who have all these sources of income and all this other stuff, but they'll never tell you how draining it is to try to keep that up, even though they don't need all that source of income. Someone telling you that you need to ask, where's that? Let me check. Okay. Someone telling you that you need you need all these sorts of incomes, you need to own houses, you need to do that. They're just trying to put shit on your plate to tell you to not talk about anything, right? Because maybe you don't need to buy a house. You only need to not a house, to buy property. Because that comes with different types of different problems and different types of groups of people that you're going to have to deal with. I know somebody in my personal life that gave me a job opportunity who has way more money than I have. He has millions. The guy does not live like a millionaire. He does like a complete bum. Now, he's an older guy. And to me, it don't make no sense that an older dude who got me a job opportunity asking me for money. But I figured out why this guy lives the way he does. Mainly because he has a gambling problem. and he doesn't want to touch his money, and he makes it so hard for him to get his own money out of his own bank account. He has to ask everybody else around him for money in order to feed his habit. And he put all types of things in front of him so he doesn't have to touch his own money. Which is pretty sad. And I'm starting to see a lot of these guys for what some of these guys are. The quote unquote productive guys have they drug addicts, or they have some type of vice in order for them to cope with the fact is that they're the only ones in those positions and they can't trust anybody else around them because they got to protect their assets at all times. A lot of them have to hang out with each other, and some of them are sick and tired of hanging out with the same group of people all the time, so they got to go around making fun of other people. So they try to push you into being like them so they can have new people to talk to and be around instead of it organically happening. This is the reason why you got a lot of celebrities, Hollywood executives and stuff like that bringing in new people so they can have new people to play with, talk to, and associate with. They're tired of talking to and associate with each other. That's why they got drug habits, alcohol problems, and I call it the bullying thing, right? A lot of these guys are bored of doing the same thing over and over again. So they got to come online and make fun of people, tell them that they're better than. And a lot of them don't want to be in a position. Some of them want to go back to being in a lower position than they are now. They just don't want to lose everything they have because they're too comfortable at a higher position. So I can tell you this now. Oh, come on. I can tell you this now. Sometimes you have to be comfortable in the position you're in, because sometimes you're not ready to be in a higher position because there's a lot of problems that you probably can't handle in that higher position. Some people want to be a millionaire or even be a billionaire, but are you ready for those billionaire and millionaire problems? Because once people find out you have more money than they do, you become an opportunity for everybody else. And you have to talk to people that you probably don't want to talk to or be around at all. And then you will probably have to take breaks, long ass breaks and vacations, because you really don't want to be around these people. So in order to cope, you have to pick on people and talk down to people. You have to you have to literally, drink yourself into something. But people use being online as a new form of drugs, to think they're better than somebody, to stay away from the actual drugs. So let me show you that a lot of people they don't articulate this the right way. Now let me show you. It's 24 hours in a day, right? You only could do but so much in a day. So what do you do in that day? What society tells you to do in that day? You work. Some people work 12, 8, 6, or 15 hours in one day. So after that, what do? People always tell you to have social life. But if you're working, how the fuck you supposed to have a social life? Mind you, who are the right people to talk to spend your social hours with if you want a social life? You just can't bring random motherfuckers in your life and pretending that's a good strategy. Cause then you'll bring the wrong people in your life and they'll fuck it up. People don't tell you about that, right? So how many hours people want you to spend on a quote unquote social life? 3 hours, 6, or 10 hours? Dating. People will tell you that you're not going out there spending your good time you're not spending your certain time trying to date, right? Mind you, this is next to all other things from work, social events, whatever, right? So, how many hours are you supposed to waste on dating? 3, 6, or 10? Now, how much money do you think that it takes somebody to be happy or content with whatever price, right? 15K, 20K, 30K, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 200, 300K, 1 million or 2 million. Which are these numbers that will be suitable for you? A lot of people don't know and don't calculate what they might do and what they might not do in life. A lot of people are okay. A lot of people are randomizers. They randomize their lives and they try to see what works. They pick people based off bullshit that don't work. Right? This all comes into knowing what position you really are in, right? Sometimes most people talk about you and tell you that you are a loser because you don't get sex. But have you asked yourself how much sex some of these guys get for them to be as arrogant they are? Because some of them supposed to be getting sex every single day, 3 times a day, 4 times a day. How much sex they get per week? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times a week? How much sex they get a month? 5, 10, 15, or 20. This all has to do with being in a certain position that some people claim they're in, right? So let's see. The number of women dated. A lot of people run their mouth and talk about guys not going out, guys not doing this, not having experience, not doing this. And I want people to start asking these questions to these people. What you want me to do? Date three women a month and waste my time like that? Because a lot of the shit doesn't. They want you to do things that hasn't been working for almost 50 something years. They want you to throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. Right? See, I already have counters to all these different people. People don't want to fuck with me, especially on social media when they be running around calling people virgin losers and all this other shit. I just tell them, hey, so you telling me that there's like a high number of great women out there and they haven't found nobody yet. And then they shut the hell up. Like, wait, so you telling me that it's all these great women, but nobody has dated them yet? Or met them yet? So I have to go out there and I'm somehow is going to meet these great women that nobody actually wanted to date yet. So you're just saying that every guy is a bunch of losers, but you can't say that because everybody out here is working or doing something different. So you making yourself look stupid by just saying random shit to people to try to put down one group of people. So then you have to understand how many friends you have. People don't understand that having 1,000 friends don't mean shit when you lose everything. Cause every group and every person, every if you have 1,000 friends and you can't go to not one of them to help you out, then what's what's the use of having all these friends? Being in a social, being in society in general, is about getting help from somebody when you need it, not leaning on people, but getting help when you need it. That's why you put hours into friendships and everything else. Y'all there when y'all need it. But nobody never makes that nobody never makes that argument that you don't want to have too many friends who are not going to be there when you need them. So, how organized are you? I can tell you right now that most of these people out here who have great jobs and all these friends or all this stuff, they life might look perfect. But I know how many times I went into a cash checking place and these people they're not organized. They're I went into cash checking places all over my city, in the best neighborhoods, even in some of the worst neighborhoods, and they all very unorganized. There's a reason why so many people in America has debts. Because if everybody had their shit together, even the people who had money, they wouldn't have debts. They wouldn't. Let's be real. Let's stop with the lying and pretending that these people got their shit together or pretending they 100% organized. A lot of them are organized in business, but they're not organized in their lives. How much money you saved, how many enemies you made. So a lot of people are not on save mode. They're on spending mode. Make money and spend money. Make money and spend money. And not saving it. And if they have something saved, they have a little bit saved. How many enemies they made. So sometimes you have to understand how many people how many enemies you created just by being who you are. Right? This opens up in a position where this opens up the reality of a position that you're in. If you're in the top position, then you're going to create enemies because you're at the top. If you're in a mid position, you're going to create enemies, but not as much. And if you're in a certain level, like a mid level, you're still going to create enemies. There's always going to be somebody jealous of you if you're doing better than somebody else. And then they're always going to want to try you or try to come after you because they want what you got, even if it's something small. Even if some of these guys in a higher position than you, they might not be in a higher position than you in other places. This is why it's not universally, there's nobody at the top. Financial, there's people at the top. Social, there's people at the top. Physical, there's people at the top. But you got to know which category you at the top, and you respect your position and you do it at the best of your level and stay in that highest level. How well you keep care of things. how well you take care of things, right? How's your upkeep of things? From items you have, your cars, house, everything else. That tells that tells that tells people that tells certain people what kind of person you are. If you ain't breaking shit and or you're not having to replace something over and over again, you're not losing wallets and cars, and you're not having to replace all these different things that you have, and you stay with the same thing for over again. It means you know how to keep things. You know how to keep things at a at an okay condition. How fast do it take you to recover from stress? Right? Sometimes people bring stress in your life, and it takes maybe a few hours to relieve that stress. Maybe it takes a couple minutes. It depends on the severity of that stress. But in life, when you become older, you have to learn how to get rid of stress at a faster rate than everybody else. Or you start to create problems for yourself by using alcohol and drugs to deal with things, like a lot of these other people. So, the basics of this whole video was about analyzing yourself to other people and seeing what they don't have and what you have, and have confidence in the facts that you're ahead of them in other things, and don't let them belittle you because they're higher than you in other things, because the fact is they're never going to hold that high position very long. Porn star dudes who get pussy all the time, high quality pussy, it's the quality of sex and pussy that certain guys get, it varies. It varies to low level women, mid level women, and high level women. A lot of guys are not getting high level women. They might get good looking women, but these women are not high level. They don't have high positions. They can't change these dudes' lives. None of that. Same thing with the women. They're not getting high level guys. If they got high level guys, then they would be in a higher position and they wouldn't be around you. Do you ever see Kim Kardashian making fun of incels? No. Do you see any of the high level princesses and certain celebrities out here making fun of incels and talking down to men and all this other stuff? No. You know why? They don't need to. They got money. They in a position. Do you see them complaining about dating and marriage and all this other shit? No. They find a husband and they get off the market. This is why I'm starting to not take certain people seriously anymore. Because the fact is, if you knew where the productive people were at, you stay where they at. I don't need to go, like I said, I'm not gonna I'm a PlayStation fan. I'm a PlayStation guy. PlayStation guy ever since the PlayStation 2. You don't see me in chat rooms with PC guys and Xbox guys telling them how trash they are and retarded they are. On social media, it's an open platform. But in their own chat rooms and ecosystems, I don't talk to them. I don't need to talk to them. But I find it very unproductive to just be talking down to certain people, right? You tell people there's levels of telling somebody who they are and what position they in. The first one is just telling them where they at. The second position is basically giving them hard truth. And the third phase is basically telling them, you can change this, and if you don't change this, you're going to be in this position. But after those three phases, it's just roadkill now. It's like you ran over a cat and you continue to keep running over that cat while the carcass is still in the pavement, and you're just doing that. It's already dead. You're continue to doing that, but it makes you feel good running over a cat. It's not a cat no more. It's roadkill. And a lot of these guys like doing it. I like smashing their feet inside a dead body or something like that, telling them how much of a loser they are to make themselves feel good. They see a dead body over there that they smashed and they did what they disposed of, and they still going over there doing like this, smashing and stepping on. It's like, hey man, it makes you look like a clown by calling somebody losers and all this other stuff when the three phases are already over. You told them what they was, you told them that where they at, and you told them how to get them out of that position. If they don't want to listen, then move on to somebody else. And a lot of people over here who said they wanted to help, you know, I got certain emails and cash apps and telling me how people are now busy. And I said, well, one of the reasons why I'm gonna make a lot of videos is because I'm busy as well. I'm busy just doing what I'm doing, and also planning a lot of different things. And I'm like, there's a reason why I don't make a lot of videos no more, because everybody that I'm talking to, they all changing their lives. And I'm like, okay, some people ask me, hey, you can make some videos while they're in the middle of their well, how can I say it? Transit. When they're in their car, they need to listen to somebody to maneuver themselves or wake themselves up. I listen to certain musics when I wake up. You know, when I wake up, I listen to certain musics. Like, right, let me show you the music I listen to right now. Let me give you a little glimpse of who I listen to right now. So by me trying to learn another language, I'm getting comfortable with certain I'm getting comfortable with certain musics, and if they say words that I'm familiar with and I listen to the song, that means that I'm gonna understand the language more and more. That's another way I'm learning how to learn multiple languages, which is hard as hell, because you're learning them all at the same time, is by listening to songs and music and TV shows without the subtitles. And if you hear the same words come into it, you know how to be familiarized with it, and you can use it in your everyday as well. So, like I said, there's people out here right now that have high level intelligence. They're in the highest position when it comes to intelligence, but in the low level of social. Nobody is truly socially awkward. Nobody. If you were socially awkward, you couldn't conduct any business on the phone. You couldn't talk to anybody on the phone. Customer service on the phone. You couldn't talk to anybody at McDonald's. You couldn't do any of that. When people call somebody socially awkward, they're trying to tell you to talk to every single body. That's why I have to call people out when they call niggas socially awkward. That's why I said people don't really want to go one-on-one with me, because then I'll break them down to a point where they're just throwing ad hominems at you. Like I said, know what position you in, analyze which position you in, and what place you're in, and try to move up a little. Because not everybody's at the highest position. Nobody's at the highest position of intelligence, financial, sexual dominance, social dominance. Not everybody's at that top. And physical dominance. Most of the people who run this country are a bunch of old, white, wrinkled people, man. Their bodies are frail and almost out of here. And they're sexualists. Come on now. But they got power. They're in first place with power. They're in first place with political matters. And social matters, they're in first place. There's political guys that are in fifth place with social. They don't socialize with everybody. They socialize with a few people. So realize what position you in, and see if you're comfortable in that position you're in. And just know that not everybody's gonna be at the top. And don't listen to people who think that they're at the top, because a lot of them are just blowing smoke out of their ear. Most of these guys are not at the top. Most people are not at the top of anything. Because if they was at the top, they wouldn't be talking to you.